Have you ever wondered how wind farms work? Well, I have, and that's why I'm at the Judith Gap wind farm in central Montana. Operations manager John Bacon offered to show me how it works. And even though it's not windy today, as you can see, it's still quite impressive. It's a 135 megawatt facility, correct?
Yes.
And in terms of what that powers, what are we talking about?
That's enough power in a year to supply about 30,000 homes.
And what about this here? You were telling us earlier this was hit by lightning?
Yeah, this particular blade took a lightning strike. They take lightning strikes all the time. They have a lightning protection system in them. It just transmits the voltage down the blade and into the tower. Lightning is a strange thing, so sometimes it's a little heavier than we like.
Do they ever just fall off just from wear and tear, or is it something significant like a lightning strike that's going to cause that kind of damage?
You'd have to have something really strange like that, I think. Wear and tear. Part of our regular preventative maintenance is checking our bolts, checking our torque and tension on the bolts. So,
what does an individual unit or piece like this cost?
Typical blade runs, I think, between $100,000 and $120,000.
Okay. What about for a whole assembly then?
Turnkey price $1.5 million to $1.8 million, somewhere in there.
I always wonder, because I never see it happening, how's the erecting process go?
It's kind of a series of lifts, if you will. You have your first crew comes in after your foundations have cured and you're ready to set your first tower section. Your first crew comes in with a smaller crane. They set the first two sections and then they move on. Then we bring the big crane in. It's going to set the top tower section, the nacelle, which is the square piece up on the top, and then we assemble the rotors down on the ground and pull the whole rotor up in one lift and assemble it. These blades are typically rated for about 100,000 joule hit of lightning. That particular night, because we can track our lightning strikes, we knew we had multiple strikes out here well over 100,000 joules. It's a rare event though. I mean, they take hits all the time. Right here is where the this is where the copper puck is located. And that's just a lightning, they call it a lightning arrestor. In the inside, if you look down the end there, you'll see the aluminum strap.
So what are these made of? It looks like fiberglass with a...
They're pretty much all fiberglass. The only thing, that strap is the only piece of aluminum in there,
okay.
Or metal, I should say. This was all done by the repair crews. The initial inspection team went up there. They had to grind some of that away to kind of see what the extent of the damage was. You can see this stuff, this is an epoxy that basically glues the two sections together. This yellow stuff over here on this side, that's kind of a foam. That's more for sound dampening.
Okay. Just looking at it, looks like this is quite flexible.
They flex actually quite a lot. You see this little bend in the blade here? Like, right here. That's there to keep this tip from hitting the tower when it comes around. It will flex back that far. If we didn't have that bend in the blade, it would flex back and the tip would actually hit the tower. Have you ever had that happen where,
well, I gotta imagine it's extremely rare, but one spinning, the blade comes off?
The one that happened I was in the same storm as this one to the north. We had that one where the blade broke off more towards the root. Okay. And had fallen down. So we have a lightning warning system out here that has a 50-mile boundary and a 30-mile boundary. And at 30 miles, if we get a lightning warning within a 30-mile boundary, we have to pull everybody out of the towers. And sometimes that can be tricky in the summertime because what happens is the thunderstorms form right over us and you don't get any warning in advance. You know, your first warning is the crack you hear when it hit over here, you know.
Let's go in chronological order. Let's say, when did it start?